Hello, my name is Teerathpreet Sekhon, and today I will be discussing some of the pros and cons of VMs and the differences between Linux and Windows. Okay, some of the advantages of virtual machines. With virtual machines, multiple OS environments can exist simultaneously on the same machine, isolated from each other. Virtual machines can also offer an instruction set architecture that differs from real computers, and their virtual machines also allow easy maintenance, application provisioning, availability, and convenient recovery is also an advantage of virtual machines. Some of the main disadvantages of virtual machines is that when multiple virtual machines are simultaneously running on a host computer, each VM may introduce an unstable performance, which depends on the workload of the system, uh, because they're running multiple machines. And also, virtual machines are not as efficient as real ones when accessing hardware, just because they have an extra layer to go through. Next, I'll be discussing a few of the differences between Windows OS and Linux. Uh, with Linux, you have access to the kernel source code, and with Windows, you will never be able to see the source code for Windows OS. Some say giving the public access to the code opens the operating system to malicious developers who would take advantage of weaknesses they find. But a counterpoint to that is that having full access means that Linux is improved faster and that the exploits can be corrected faster compared to Windows. Another difference between Linux and Windows is licensing. With Linux, you can download the OS to as many machines as you want, and you're free to modify the OS however you want legally. With Windows, you're legally only allowed to download the OS to as many machines as you bought license. That also applies for licenses to Windows products such as like their Office Suite. Now, some of the direct benefits of Linux. With Linux, you can argue that Linux is more secure than Windows because running an exe is harder to do on Linux. Also, files and viruses can be removed from the root. Um, Linux is also more efficient and faster than Windows because when a large company makes an incremental improvement on Linux, they are often required to share it because of their GPL license. So in turn, Linux gets more optimizations than Windows faster, basically. Next, moving on to some of the direct benefits of Windows. With Windows, you have access to live support 24/7, and you can get help faster than with Linux generally. This is because with Linux, you are relying on community support and are forced to look for documented cases of the same issue. Sometimes you can get answers instantly, or you may be stuck looking for a document that supports the problem you're having, or waiting for a reply for a while. Windows is also more beginner friendly, and everyone can be expected to know how to use a Windows machine and perform basic tasks. By nature, Linux not being seen as much as Windows means that there is going to be a learning curve involved with Linux. Thank you.